Let's talk about an Xbox Series S portable. A concept that looks great on paper, but can it actually be done? Let's look into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I would like to talk about an Xbox handheld. Now this is just an idea, a concept, although maybe even a little bit more because it sounds like Microsoft is already researching, prototyping such a device. So we may see a product like that in the future. Phil Spencer keeps talking about the fact that he would love to see an Xbox handheld too. So who knows, maybe we will get one at some point in the future. And there's actually kind of two concepts that kind of compete when it comes to an Xbox handheld. One concept is really about like the latest tech, Zen 3, Zen 4, maybe even 5, and RDNA 3, maybe even 4. But that sounds next gen really, right? And I'm not actually downplaying it. I just think that when it comes to the latest tech, just leave it for next gen. So I think that it would make more sense to release such a console with the latest technology and everything like in 2026, 2027 as a companion device for the next gen Xbox. And there's still another concept, one more concept. We just talked about a shrinked, a smaller Xbox Series S. So Xbox Series S portable, basically, right? An Xbox Series S that can run all the Xbox Series games. Xbox Series S games, Xbox One games, Xbox 360 games too, right? So we're literally talking about the same specs, the same console, just in a different form factor, right? Now, on paper, that looks great because Xbox Series S is already small, but it would have to be smaller, of course. It's full digital, so there we go. And obviously, from developers' perspective, it would make sense because nobody would actually complain about it because developers would just make games and optimize games for Xbox Series S, right? So there would be hardly any difference, I guess, right? So like on paper, that looks great because you could take your whole Xbox library of games on the go and play it like natively, but on a handheld, right? So it's much better than just any like a streaming device, cloud app or anything like that. So like I said at the very beginning of the video, that concept looks great on paper because like if you look at it, all the major points, it's great, right? It's fast, it's small, it's portable. You get all the Xbox games that you play on a big console, you can play it here too, etc., etc. But obviously there's some caveats to it, right? Because really an Xbox Series S has not been designed as a portable device, right? It has been designed as a home console, right? That you connect to TV, and so it's technically speaking, I mean, there's no problem. There wouldn't be any problem in building, like taking all the Xbox Series S parts, putting it in the small form factor, and we would probably have to redesign it a little bit. But it would be big, clunky, and not really power efficient. So it would have to come with a big screen probably and big battery. So battery life wouldn't be great either because mobile devices really needs to be very power efficient. It's not about the power as in performance, but more about like power usage, right? TDP and that kind of stuff. And that's what I really want to talk about today for the most part, really, because Xbox Series S is pretty power efficient because if you compare it to Xbox Series X, for example, which In some games can use over 200 watts of power, right? And Xbox Series S, I've been reading a little bit about it, and like I think the top that Xbox Series S reaches in some more demanding games is like 75, 80 watts. So you can see straight away that it's actually it's more way more power efficient than Xbox Series X, sure, but that's still not enough for a portable device. I don't know much about Steam Deck. I didn't really check. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not really too power hungry, but it's also less powerful. But in order to feed an Xbox Series S spec kind of device, few things would have to happen, right? They would have to cut the power usage at least by half, right? Is it doable? I mean, potentially, sure, right? So they would have to either do that or just, ship the device with a bigger battery, right? Because something has to give. I mean, the good thing about Xbox Series S specs, and I know that will sound crazy, but the good thing is it's not clocked high. So that means if you shrink the APU, like currently it's on 7 nanometers, so if you shrink it, use it 4 nanometers, then, it's going to be way more power efficient, right? Combined with pretty low clock speeds, like, 1500 or 1600 ish when it comes to GPU. I mean, CPU is 3.5, so it's not really that high especially for a 4 nanometer process. So I don't know if going from 7 to 4 nanometers would be more than enough to actually cut the power usage by half overall, because obviously when we look at CPU, GPU, that's only the part of the story. You still have to power other parts like memory controllers and the motherboard, the controller, and Wi-Fi and SSD and the screen. So I guess it also depends what kind of screen you would like to you want to use. So I guess the more power efficient screen, the better. So, like if they did that, I mean, that could potentially work, but the question is, how much would that actually cost too? So, ROG Ally, it's not the cheapest one, but it's also using the latest technology because it's using Zen 4, I think, and RDNA 3 cores. It comes with 16 gigabytes of memory, but the memory is actually slower than on Xbox Series S. So it's still not perfect. I'm not sure about SSD, but I guess if Microsoft were prepared to lose a little bit money at first on that console, I think it's doable. I mean, and obviously I'm no hardware engineer, right? I'm, if anything, I'm more like a software support guy. So I can't really say, how much would that cost and how much of a energy saving lower TDP they would get from going from 7 to 4 nanometers. Obviously, the smaller the node, the better. But better for power efficiency, but also it's more expensive. So in the end, I think just assuming that power usage and the price, if we assume that they could balance it out and they would be able to make it work, for example, for like $400, because no question there. I mean, it would be more expensive than Xbox Series S, right? It has to be. But it would be a great companion console because people really love these portable devices these days. And I'm not sure if they could make it, when it comes to, like, for example, the when it comes to the screen, no touch screen or something like that. I'm not sure if that would work, but I'm not sure if they would actually need that, to be honest with you. But that could actually be a very cool console to have, because a lot of people love these portable devices. A lot of people got used to playing on, especially kids these days, right? Like, look how all these portable devices are actually popular. Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Switch, right? And the problem with using the latest technology and everything is that it's might not be the best way to go about it, because it would not necessarily be compatible with the current software, and releasing that a little bit too early could make it incompatible with next gen. So I think the best approach, from me, gamer perspective, I guess, not necessarily from Xbox perspective, would be to have an Xbox Series S portable right now. I'm not sure if it's doable this year, probably not, like early next year maybe, if they are prototyping. By the time they actually make a design and make it start producing that thing, it's probably going to take a while. So don't expect any portable device this year, but next year, why not? And even if we assume that Xbox will shorten this generation a little bit, and let's assume they will release next-gen console late 2026, right? So even if they were to release an Xbox handheld like early next year, that would still give an Xbox like 2 years for this generation. But also remember, like, these devices are not going to be unusable overnight, even after release of the next gen consoles, because like there's still this cross-gen period where most games still run on both generation of consoles, right? So even such a console would be great. And don't forget that these devices, people don't really care about power and everything, right? As long as these games run fine and 3060, who cares? Xbox Series S has these modes anyway. Most games are 1080p anyway. So if Microsoft were to make the tech work, such a console would be a really great thing to have. Not for me personally, because I'm not really a mobile gamer, but from PR perspective, from other gamers perspective, people would buy it, that's for sure, right? And that could help a little bit with console sales, for sure, right? And the great thing about Xbox Series S is that it's there already. You don't need to build SDKs for it and everything, right? It's just like, make sure that the tech works, that you've got like really like a portable version of Xbox Series S. If they can make it work, then it's a winner for everyone. For Xbox, they will get to sell more consoles, and consumers, because they get to play their Xbox games on the go. As long as they get the power, TDP, and the battery life right. So guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.